muscles. So let's get back to work, shall we? Speaker. Okay, let's work on the drivers right now. The wood looks fine. Black mask. Add paint. Just select those as objects. Let's just test if the mask, yeah, the mask works. Okay. Bit too shiny. Increase the roughness a bit. So these inner parts should be probably metallic. So let's add another mask, add paint. Let's just select by the faces, like manual. Let's blur the mask because the edges are like really bad. Okay, that's a bit better. We could actually adjust the height, pop them out a bit. Let's make them copperish color. Metallic. Should be shiny. Let's add another mask, paint mask. Let's select these outer edges. Same with these, blur the edges a bit, yeah, okay. Pop out the heights, or maybe pop it on, like, yeah, pop it out. No, I don't like that. Let's just... Yeah, okay, it should darken the edges. But I don't know, nobody will actually notice these details, but this asset could be used for like looking at it from a small distance. So let's just add a simple fill, like full-on white color, triplanar projection, because this like allows us to have a cube that's projection cropped to the yeah, okay, so this works a bit better. Let's do this one because this is a larger one. Let's offset out the height a bit. I don't know, how do speakers look? I don't even know. Let's add a filter blur. Let's add another fill and this could affect the smaller speakers. Let's actually do the same for this one, like just have it transition from the wood to the rubber or the speaker material. So this should be a lighter color, and then we should mask, black mask. Maybe let's just add a paint, like simple paint. Let's just try hand painting it. And we don't need to make everything procedurally, we can just add details where we want them manually. Okay, so this darkens the inside of the speaker. I don't know, those are like fine. It's fine for a speaker. We need some ambient occlusion around the wood texture right now to make the speakers pop a bit. So we can just add another mask. Just fake some shadows. You can actually paint on the texture itself, not on the model. Roughness, max roughness, okay, yeah, that looks fine, good. Maybe we should have like some seams, stripes going inside. Let's see, we can just add another mask. So yeah, these are the speakers, so let's put them in black mask. Let's add a fill. Let's do the anisotropic noise, so it's like stripes that are not really tidy, so it should be a sphere projection, I guess. Let's try rotating. No, that would make the lines go inward. That looks pretty cool also. Let's up the contrast. We also need to up the tiling amount a bit. So this should affect only the height, like minimally. Yeah, you can see like it's like looks like it's stretching inward the speaker, but it's like a bit too noisy maybe. There's a different noise, like we could just use a stripe texture, would be a bit cleaner. Now the stripes are rotated, like, so if we just shift the texture a bit. This is wrong. We don't need a spherical, we need a cylindrical projection. And then I think it's rotation. Yeah, now it's super tidy. So let's just make them a bit softer. Now it also affects the metal part, so let's just add some paint. Let's do multiply 0 painted black, so it doesn't affect the center. More stripes, maybe looks cool. Increase the height. Yeah, that looks cool, the detail. But this detail will only be visible at a certain angle, so you see, like, at this angle the detail disappears, so we need some color information also. Let's just make it black. Yeah, so now there's a bit of color. I don't know, that looks cool. Like this should be like have the stripes, and these like are too small. There's no point in adding stripes to them, because the texture will be really tiny anyways. The detail will get lost in the sauce. So speakers, now let's just separate the speakers from the rest of the scene. Let's export. And export all of the other assets as a separate mesh. Okay, so there's no speakers. Let's add the speaker mesh. So this is a separate object right now. Let's create the material. Let's actually apply the material on the mesh file. Okay, their texture still has smoothing. Let's just disable the smoothing. Okay, now it's sharp. The speakers are a bit too light in the game. They should be darker. Damn, this red looks pretty cool, actually. Let's keep it like that, I guess. Make it darker, make the stripes be overlay. Yeah, that looks cool. Cool, very cool. So now they need some brackets also as a separate object, because the speakers could be standalone assets in other areas. Speakers will be used throughout the game probably, so... Oh, almost flipped over with my chair. Could just grab these faces so the position is perfect for them. Just scale down the individual meshes. Median point extrude. And then just probably inset extrude, scale down a bit. And then just add a cube. Scale on the x-axis. Shade smooth. Okay, so these are the brackets done. Let's export speaker brackets. Export. don't really like how the lighting is coming down. There should be a source of light like coming from here. The skylight is also too intense. Look. So this is how it would look. It's a bit too dark in this area. So let's try. Just add a point light. So this will be cheap because this won't cast any shadows, just accessory lighting. Huge radius. Let's light everything up. Okay, so the intensity is way too much. Let's drop it down a bit. Yeah, okay, now you can see a bit of detail, like also like the normal maps are a bit more pronounced. Maybe the light is a bit too cold. Let's warm it up a bit, like, because then it would like blend into the lighting of the desert, which is like really orange. It's not blue light, just warm light. So yeah, this lights everything up and looks good. Red light. Oh, red light is like, it's a bit too much. Maybe even warmer, like 3000 Kelvin temperature light. Yeah, so this looks good, and it's cheap. It's cheap point light, zero shadows. We could actually try casting shadows, but I mean, for this one light wouldn't really have much of an impact. But then it's like loses the point, like all of these speakers again get shadowed. Let's make the intensity, like, let's compare. Yeah, it's like just a soft light. Okay, so let's texture the brackets next. So these are symmetrical, so let's just, to save resources and everything, and let's mirror. These will be viewed from far away, so don't need to manually unwrap the UVs, just Smart UV project. Actually, it's not that smart, the UV project, because like there's overlapping UVs. Let's just add a seam here. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, yeah, that fixed it. Let's just pack 128 by 128. So there's a bit of padding. You could just export the same model and texture from this, because all of the models like aren't touching, they won't actually impact the baking. So this is just metallic, a bit of roughness, black generator, ambient occlusion, invert, a bit of balance, yeah. Just to make the lighting a bit darker. Let's try also making a bevel, a high poly model for the baking information, because this will be useful for the curvature information. Okay, let's rebake. Also the normals will get fixed. Okay, let's try baking. Okay, much better. Like all of these edges like looks like a metal part right now. Let's add a mask and just a bit of grunge, brushed grunge. Tile like 3 times. Just a bit of roughness and height variation. Okay, I'd say that's done. Let's see how that looks in game. Okay, here we go, brackets. Let's create the material. Okay, so this is the linear color map. Because it's metallic, it got automatically detected as a normal map, so we have to change these settings. Like, let's keep the sRGB off. I mean, it looks like a normal map, like these two like have similar colors, but it's just Unreal Engine trying to help, but it's not really helping. Yeah, so for it's a bit too much roughness variation. Let's also make them sharp. Okay. So the brackets are now metal, shiny. We should texture the cable next. So this is a really long mesh, and the texture will be just repeating itself. So I'll just grab one side of it select. Seam. Mark seam. Let's put a seam on the top because it will be viewed from the bottom up. So if there's a seam here, you won't really notice it, unless, of course, in the trailer I decide to pan the camera on the top, which will be the case probably. Like, this is a cool shot, like coming down, like coming through here somewhere, the camera for the trailer. Let's mark seam. Let's angle based unwrap. Why no UVs? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, easy seam. It's the plugin. It's not the. Actually. UVs. Now we should overlap all of them. Let's just, I don't know, probably there's a better way of doing this. Let's just not concern ourselves with doing something the right way. Just better to do it fast. Okay, so let's just scale all of these down to 0. Is there like individual origins? Like, does this work? No, this doesn't work. Scale this up a bit. Scale this up. This is like the edge. Like, I don't know. It's like it shouldn't have actually an edge. Let's delete this face. Okay, let's try actually. Let's also align these faces as y0, scale y0. Let's put this bottom. It's like bounce, scale to bounce. Bounce, no. No. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that worked. Speaker cable. Let's jump into Substance Painter, save this. No, it's not this, it's yeah. power. Maximum power achieved. Okay, doggy is full. He's fed. Let's just make a teeny tiny texture, teeny tiny texture for the cable. Just a teensy weensy texture. Let's make let's bake. Let's not make, let's bake. Let's wake and bake. I have some homemade like essential oil perfume. Just dab myself real quick. I like to have some sensations or olfactory sensations. Smells good. So cable is baked. This will be like zero visibility, so let's just add black mask fill and the stripes. Just add stripes and we're done. We done. Okay, that's a cable. That's cable. Okay, base color. Metallic cable. Make this an overlay. Should adjust the camera. It's a bit too. Okay. Yo, chat, if I want to make a candle stand in Blender, what should I use for the round thing that you put sand and the candles on? What shape? Just a, I don't know, I would start with a cylinder probably for the candle stand and just extrude a tube from the cylinder. What do you mean that you put sand and the candles on? You put candles and sand? That's the first time I'm hearing about that. I have like a bowl with sand that I put incense in, like the burning smelly stuff. Just inset the height, or offset inset, yeah, probably inset. Let's make the stripes a bit softer. Let's make the metal a bit more rough. Don't need roughness on this, or maybe, I don't know. Let's just check how it looks. This will be good enough. Like I said, this will be invisible. So let's just separate. The cable object. Save, always save as much as possible. Let's export. Oh, we have the cable exported, it's the same, okay. Let's just duplicate in the brackets. Cable, I exported the cable to the wrong directory. export to the game directory speaker cable. Speaker cable. Okay, we got cable. Now it's Z fighting because there's two meshes. We need to remove the cable mesh. We need to remove the cable mesh from all of these objects. So this is like also the high poly is this, the speakers array. High poly height. Okay, let's, oh, okay, so we don't need the brackets, we don't need the speakers. Let's export this. So as we export this, all of the objects that were like a single object get decoupled and they become their own separate entities. Cable. Let's create the cable material. No, sRGB, yeah, B. Blue channel is metallic. Why is it so dark? Ambient occlusion. Yeah, ambient occlusion is broken, don't need it actually. Kabla, kabla, kabla. Cable, kabla. Metallic, don't need the metallic. Okay, that's a cable. Of course, as with all textures, nearest filtering. Okay, cable done. Chains, maybe the chains need texture next. Spikes, stands. Okay, let's not get overwhelmed. Let's actually start with the largest object, like let's do the most intense, hardest thing first. Should I bevel this edge to see how that looks? Yeah, I should bevel. Did bevel. Will bevel. Oh, this goes like so deep. Too deep. No sense in having that in geometry if it's like just inside. It should be like, yeah, just barely touching. And this should scale Z0. This should be touching the ground. Yeah. Shade smooth. Okay. Select this. Mark seam. Okay, that's pretty much unwrapped, I think. Just these two edges. Mark arc seam. This will be a long, really long UV. I should like split it here. But if I split it, it will have a visible seam. So maybe I should add like something here, like I don't know, like some kind of statue, like a gargoyle or some shit. We actually could like grab a 3D scan of like a gargoyle from like just any old building, and then just make a low poly mesh around it, bake the high poly. Let's actually do that. Let's see how quick that could be achieved. Like there's substance, no, there's some kind of a repository on Unreal Engine 3D scans. Oh, Quixel Mega Scans, yeah. So let's see, what do they have? Oh, okay, this is like, it's changed on the fab.com, Unreal Fab. Products, 3D. Statue, 3D statue. There's a lot of like, yeah, there's like a cat statue. Yeah, Japanese Komainu statue, like, looks like a lion. Fox statue. Oh, these, some are free. Some are like $2. It used to be all free. I don't know, I don't want to make like sculpt a gargoyle, but I don't know, like let's just add the same spike, maybe this spike at that location. Does this align? Yeah, okay, yeah, this even aligns actually with that, so we'll just duplicate, scale down. Not really perfectly aligned. Let's check the wireframe. Okay, that's lined up. Scale on the y-axis so it covers the whole railing. GY, okay, yep. Let's just make these a bit fatter, SY. GZ. Yeah, that's a solution. So now we can actually split this in half. Like, I'll just show what's the problem. You probably, I don't know, just angle based unwrap. You see how if this isn't split in the middle, look how much wasted empty space there's in the UV map, which could be occupied by pixel color information and normal information and all of that shit. So let's just split it in the middle. Just knife cut through. Actually, yeah, okay, let's just move this word on normals up a bit. You should sit up straight. So let's I should buy a webcam or something Using a phone it's not an easy life. Yeah, you see, now we split it in the middle. All of this is like occupied by the. Let's do 512. Whatever. Okay, now we can texture this part. Let's move this to the middle wireframe. Okay, so this is the middle, can barely see it. GZ up. Okay, so let's export. Barren wall, railing, selected object. Let's export everything else. Okay, so the railing is gone. It's a separate object. Let's bring it back. Railing, okay. Let's jump into Substance Painter right now. Okay, cable is done. Let's save it and forget it. Set it and forget it. Bake. Let's actually where's the railing? Oh my god, I lost the railing. Control Z. Let's name it. Oh, it was cylinder.009. Let's call it railing, just so I can find it later on. So this is the low poly. Let's make a high poly for the bake information. Harden normals or no? Should I harden? Let's actually try merge by distance, like what's going on here? Why are these like so sharp? Let's recalculate outside the normals. Are these normals? No. Okay, I probably need to add some geometry. Merge at center. Let's align all of these at the center. Scale. Is this X? Oh, this is Y axis. Okay, so that fixed this issue. That's smooth. Now this isn't smooth. Arc, patch, sharp, inner arc. No, that breaks. Should probably just bevel manually a few times. Like just keep the geometry a bit simple, but yeah, it's gonna be good enough. Export railing high to another folder. Let's just bake. We be baking bacon. Bake. So this should be dark, like the walls probably. This will need a lot of adjustment in game. Okay, let's just start with this simple base, like let's add some grunge. I just see grunge and Nirvana starts playing. Let's not listen to Nirvana. Brushed dirt looks good. Okay, offsetting the height a bit down. Let's just check out this base. The edges should have like golden details. Railing. RGB. Railing. Okay, there's a lot of shadows like on the texture. And there's no collision. Let's add some collision. Let's make these sharp, nearest filtering. Okay, let's add some gold details like on the edges. Let's try that. we could use this like overlay mask. Let's just invert it up the contrast. No, like let's up the contrast way too much. No, it's like, but the seam will be hidden, so like that's not really a problem. Let's do metallic height inward. It will be inset. Why is it so dark? That looks like copper, not gold. Gold is yellow. Yeah, roughness, yeah, okay, we need some roughness. Okay, now that looks like gold, actually. Yeah, looks cool. The gold glistening should, I don't know, maybe an emerald color, like a greenish color would look cool. And this is normal, not overly. Yeah, I mean, that looks kinda cool, I guess. Let's just add a bit of blur to this mask to make the edges a bit smoother. Maybe a bit thinner. Actually, let's just duplicate. Let's try not a curvature, not a generator. Let's do not a filter, a fill, the same pattern. OG pattern. Okay, maybe that's cool. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh. That looks good. Okay, so if we're using this green color, it should have like cracks, like marble, you know. Let's add a black mask. So for the marbling, we can use a Voronoi texture. Scale this up. Invert, contrast, a bit of less of balance. One to 8. No, that's a bit too much. Not Voronoi, maybe Vorley. They're kind of similar, but this is more like what I'm going for. Okay, now let's just maybe control the roughness a bit with this overlay. Let's lighten it up a bit. Okay, quick, before and after, there's like a bit of marbling but it needs a bit more. Let's move this to a folder like marbling. The whole folder needs to be overlay. I don't know. Maybe there's a let's check. Not a filter. I always press filter when I want to press fill. Marble. Here's a texture. That's already, it's called marble veins, so yeah, that looks like marble a lot more. Let's just inset the height a bit so it looks cracked. So cracked. Oh. Looks good. What if it's actually red? What if it's red? Let's not delete the green color, let's just make it red. Redstone. Yeah, I think that's better. Maybe a bit too saturated. Let's desaturate a bit. Okay, let's move on. Like, that looks pretty good. Let's do the stairs next. Okay, so the stairs are actually, where's the main stair? Okay, here it is. So the stairs are cubes. They are cubes that are an array of cubes. So let's just actually delete all of these. Delete the bottom faces. I hope that didn't break anything. Okay, so we should, let's make a backup of the stairs. Stairs pre-merge, and stair pre-merge, and let's make a stair merged. Okay, so the array, it's fine to have an array. It's this array, not this array. Let's just unwrap angle based. Just a simple unwrap. Pack. I don't know if we should pack. Well, let's pack. Pack. 53%. That will do. Don't really need to budget texture sizes with this art style, so that's big pro. Bunker bridge. Okay. Stairs. Skeletal mesh? It's not a skeletal mesh. Stairs. Okay, let's remove the stairs. Export. Okay, remove the railings also. Railings are, yeah, they're named. Okay, let's. Looks cool already. Okay, let's save the railing. .512 size. The stairs should be pretty large. Bake mesh. Should we? We should. Let's make bevel. Okay, let's export this as the distance is too much for this because the stairs are tiny. Should be like, yeah, probably something like that. Maybe even less, like half of that. Yeah, so now this sharp edge will contain the curvature information. Generator curvature. Let's add a base color. It's a bit darker. Yeah, this isn't even. I don't know if the curvature information will be that useful. Well, it adds some variation, so I guess I'll keep it. Some ambient occlusion. Let's see how that looks in game. Let's make the material. This looks a bit too noisy. Let's just focus on the large details, like adding ambient occlusion near the railings. Should just maybe AO folder. Let's paint. Just brush it up. A bit less intense. Okay, so there's like shadow detail. I don't know, I don't really like the curvature information. Let's try to hide it first. Okay, that's a bit better when they're even like that. Should they be red? Let's see how they look when they're red. Yeah, I guess they should be red. Okay, now let's just add a roughness map. Let's try planar mapping. Feel like just, let's try marble, like sure, marble, why not? Not UV projection, but triplanar, yeah. So it looks like the stairs are carved from a single slab of marble. So we should rotate this a bit. Actually, let's make planar projection. Let's find which plane this should be. Okay, that looks a bit better. Okay, affects the roughness, a bit of height information, color overlay information. So that lightens it up a bit. Okay, so there's like cracks in the stairs. Okay, collision. Is this your job? Do you make money by selling your own games? I did make a lot of money from one game that I released like 10 years ago. Like a lot of money, so I lived off of that like almost for 10 years. I just got a job like a few years ago, a normal like job. That's mainly why I like stopped developing Dice Guy and Copcore, because of the job. But now I'm working full-time again on the game. I mean, sure, I'll make money off this, like there's no doubt. It's not that hard. For tile a bit more. Maybe we should add like gold on the curvature information. Yeah, looks pretty cool. Kind of shiny, like on stream it looks like a bit compressed, janky, but I don't know. Maybe I should disconnect the ambient occlusion from the material. Maybe that's adding a bit too much noise. How much time have I been streaming? Let's see. 1 hour and a half. Maybe I should take a little break, come back later, and do something. Yeah, let's do that, just to save this stairs. Okay, stream is over. I'm gonna stream again in a few hours, probably.